Welcome into Southern Sports Now on this Tuesday, May the 30th, 2023. I'm Chase Robinson. Glad you are joining us today. Hope you had a safe Memorial Day weekend and enjoyed the beautiful weather we had out there and day off yesterday, I know, for many of you, including us here at East Alabama Now. We are glad to be back with you for another day as we start a new week. It'll be a short week here for this holiday, coming off the holiday weekend, but we've got a lot to cover today. It was a big weekend across the world of sports. We'll dive into all of it over the next 60 minutes. I want to remind you where you can watch us. We are live on the East Alabama Now Facebook page. We're live on the East Alabama Now YouTube channel. You can give us a follow on Twitter at EAN_sports. But remember, you can share our video there on Facebook. You can comment, interact with us there. Jeremy Scott has dropped us a comment there on Facebook. We're also on Twitter. You can, again, follow us, send us direct messages there on Twitter. And on Facebook or on YouTube as well, you can share the link. You can comment and interact with us there on YouTube. So those are the ways you can watch us and join along with us here on this edition of Southern Sports Now. I've got a lot to dive into. Like I said, Blake Lewis, he is the athletic director and baseball coach at Gadsden State Community College. He will join us coming up around 10:20. Baseball showcase coming up this week, but we'll also dive into kind of the year that was Gadsden State Athletics and what they're looking forward to coming up next year. And so great conversation coming up with Blake Lewis of Gadsden State around 10:20. Looking forward to chatting it up with him. But as always, we will start things off with our top 5 headlines. We'll dive into it. First up, the Atlanta Braves go to Oakland to take on the Oakland A's, and they dropped the opener 7-2 against a team that this was a series I was expecting the Braves to go in and have no problems with. The offense did not look good. You go back to Sunday night after the offensive firepower we saw, that did not carry over to Oakland last night. But a positive, Mike Soroka got the start. It was nice to see him back after a couple of years away from the Braves, trying to recover from an injury. He was able to go 6 innings. Good to see him last night. But again, the offense, very disappointing. Alabama softball headed to the College World Series for the 14th time. Patrick Murphy taking the Crimson Tide softball team to Oklahoma City. It was Alabama getting a win in the series over Northwestern over the weekend. It wrapped up yesterday. Montana Fouts, solid pitching performance there for the Crimson Tide. But great to see Alabama softball heading back to Oklahoma City. On the baseball side of things, Auburn and Alabama both hosting regionals. We talked last week. We said Alabama, there's a good chance they won enough games where they could host. They are. Auburn also hosting. We'll give you a list of the teams you can see in both Tuscaloosa and Auburn coming up later on in the show. But that's big for both of these teams, and a couple of in-state schools going to each. So we'll give you a list of those. But huge for Auburn and Alabama hosting baseball regionals. We'll see if they can make it out of regionals into the Supers. And, hey, maybe we should see 2 College World Series teams here from the state of Alabama. Big week for the Southeastern Conference as the SEC spring meetings are getting going down in Gadsden, Florida. I'll give you what kind of the top 3 items on the list, you could say, coming up in just a little bit. But it is a big week. Lots of news will be coming out of Gadsden, especially on the football side of things. There's the spring meetings get going. All the coaches are down there. The athletic directors are down there. And lots will be done coming up this week down in Gadsden. If you're an Auburn basketball fan, big news. John I. Broome withdraws from the NBA draft. He will return to play for the Auburn Tigers. This is big, big news for Auburn. He probably would have been a second-round draft pick in the NBA draft. But as he stated on Twitter last night, he has unfinished business to do at Auburn. This is big for Bruce Pearl and the Auburn Tigers to have a player of his caliber coming back. You can expect, if he has the season he did this year, probably a first-round draft pick next year in the NBA draft. But Johni Broome coming back to the Plains to play for Bruce Pearl and the Auburn Tigers. So big news there for Auburn on the hardwood. Lots to get to today. Again, Blake Lewis, he is the athletic director and will be the head baseball coach of the Gadsden State Cardinals when they crank up baseball next spring. He'll join us at 10:20. We'll dive into the SEC spring meetings when we return. Stick around. More Southern Sports Now on this Tuesday in a moment.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
East Alabama Now Local News has been bringing you the best local news coverage for 6 months. And now we're growing.
EAN News will be available to you 5 nights a week with new faces, new content, and coverage that is second to none.
We'll be bringing you the weather that matters to your neighborhood and to you. Rain or shine, you'll be in the know.
Sports always brings communities together, and EAN Sports will have coverage of all of our area events.
East Alabama Now, local news, new faces, same great coverage. Starting 5 days a week, May 1st. EAN Local News, your news on your schedule.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you this segment of Southern Sports Now. Ted's Floors and Beyond, the headquarters for all things flooring, and now they are excited to have partnered with Welborn Cabinet to offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover that includes cabinets, countertops, backsplashes, flooring, and tile showers. 0% interest financing for 12 months and free in-home estimates. If you're just looking for floors, they've got you covered, whether it's hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, and luxury vinyl. Lifetime warranty on flooring installation. They're locally owned and operated. They are there. They are ready to help you pick out what you need, what fits your house. Ted's Floors and Beyond is the place to go. Located there on Highway 431 in Anniston, right before you get to Sachs High School. So there you go. Ted's Floors and Beyond. Appreciate them for sponsoring this segment of the show today. Like we mentioned, Gadsden State Athletic Director will join us next segment, but got to dive into these SEC spring meetings going on down in Gadsden, Florida this week. Huge week, as it is every week, as far as could we see changes in the SEC, especially on the football front. And I think all eyes are going to be on several key topics. And I've got 3 topics we're going to dive into as we talk about the SEC spring meetings. I think the biggest topic is, what's the schedule going to look like in 2024 when Oklahoma and Texas make their debut in the SEC? Are we going to have an 8-game or a 9-game schedule? That's a big question. Everyone wants to know this week, and hopefully we'll find out by the end of the week. It may linger on a little bit longer as they debate this. The second is field storming. And you may well think, well, why are they discussing this? This has been something that Commissioner Sankey has wanted to discuss for a while. Right now they've just got the fines that are in place for first offense, second offense, third offense. That is not working. And so right now they're looking at a harsher penalty. What they're discussing right now is considering schools losing a future home game as a consequence of storming the field. They're weighing some other options as well, but I think that's what they're looking towards right now is if you storm the field, then you will lose a future home game. And that's big. If you're a university, you look at especially these stadiums that hold 100,000 people, and all that money you would make, you're losing that. And so that definitely, I think, will put a stop to field storming if the school knows that they're going to lose a future home game because of storming the field. And officials are really trying to do this to safety. We've seen, whether it's the fans coming onto the field being trampled, or last year we saw some players, an incident with fans coming off of the field. And so it's better that this is addressed, that this is a stop is put to this field storming, and I think we'll see worse and worse things if it keeps going. So Commissioner Sankey and the SEC looking to put a stop to that. Sports gambling is something else that definitely has to be talked about, especially coming off of what happened with Brad Bohannon at Alabama. Sports gambling is increasing really day by day. More states are legalizing sports betting. And so the SEC is looking at how can we stay in front of this to keep situations like what happened at Alabama away from the conference and away from these schools, whether that is partnering with one of these betting companies to monitor activity or whatever it is. They are looking this week at how can they keep that from happening. So that's something that will be discussed. But I want to talk about the schedule, 8 or 9 games. I'd love to know what you thought. Do you think we should have a 8-game schedule or a 9-game schedule? Drop it in the comments there on Facebook, on the East Alabama Now Facebook page, on our live stream, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can drop it down in the comments on our YouTube page. But would you like to see an 8-game conference schedule or a 9-game conference schedule? I think what we will end up seeing is a 9-game conference schedule. So that is your 3 permanent opponents and then 6 rotating. So that way you're going to play every school in the conference, every few years. Right now, I mean, it's, Alabama will play Florida, every 5 or 6 years, play Kentucky every 5 or 6 years. I don't think Georgia's ever played Texas A&M in the regular season. So things like that will provide all these schools playing each other, and that's going to set up some really good matchups. But you have coaches who don't like this 9-game schedule because of the 3 permanent opponents. Let's take Nick Saban, for example, because he's been very vocal about it. He does not like the fact that he has Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU as his 3 permanent opponents. But when you look at a year like last year, you've got LSU who beat them, Tennessee who beat them. Well, those are 2 permanent opponents. And then, of course, the rivalry with Auburn. So Nick Saban's pushing for a 8-game conference schedule with 2 permanent opponents and 6 rotating. I like the 9-game schedule. I like the 3 permanent opponents for each school. I think that keeps the rivalries in check and then gives us another fun game, kind of like Alabama LSU, because you got Alabama Auburn, Alabama Tennessee is kind of the rivalries for Alabama, but then you throw LSU in there that we know is going to be a great game every single year, because it is every year. And so I like the 9-game schedule. I think that's what they should stick with and go to, especially when you bring in Texas and Oklahoma. And that's really the question this week, is how can they best, with now 16 teams in the conference, how can they best kind of get everybody playing everybody? And I think the 9-game schedule will do that and have the 6 rotating and the 3 permanent. That'll give us a chance to see, a Texas A&M. I don't think A&M's really wanting that, but that'll give us a chance to see that rivalry come back, and a Texas Arkansas, or something like that. So that gives us a chance to see rivalries and to see fun games and to see everybody playing everybody. I would love to see Georgia go out to College Station to take on A&M, and Florida go out to College Station, and A&M come to Tennessee. These type matchups that we don't get to see a lot, we would with a 9-game schedule, even with that one extra game from the 8-game schedule. So will that be decided this week? I don't know. They're going to be discussing it. Conflicting reports have already been coming out. They've really just been down there, not even 24 hours. And, they're saying that this could be a little bit longer of a process because the coaches really aren't agreeing on this. Some of them want the 9-game. I mentioned Nick Saban's really wanting the 8-game schedule. So it may be a little bit longer before we find out. But this is not something that they can drag their feet on much longer, because next year is when it'll go into effect in 2024. And so, again, that's when Texas and Oklahoma are joining the league. So you've got to have this figured out. You've got to put it in place so then the athletic directors can go out and make these schedules, and everybody can get on this rotation with these schools. So this is not something they can drag their feet on, and I don't think they will. But I'm in favor of the 9-game conference schedule. Would love your thoughts. Again, drop your comments on Facebook and YouTube on our live stream, or you tweet us at EAN_sports. But a big week, and we'll be covering the SEC spring meetings all week as news will continue to drop all week long. But like I mentioned, kind of the 3 main topics they want to hit on this week is the conference schedule, is the field storming, and sports gambling. And I think that is 3 very important topics to get ready for this 2023 season as the sport continues to evolve, and college football, like we said, constantly changing. We are going to talk some college sports, but on the community college level, Gadsden State ramping up sports, adding some sports. We'll talk with the athletic director, Blake Lewis, as we roll on this Tuesday of Southern Sports Now. We'll be back in a moment.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rodney Sneed from both CARES and Direct Primary Care. Direct Primary Care is an exciting new model of medical care growing on both the East and West Coast. It's been recommended by Forbes and the American Academy of Family Physicians and others for individuals or small businesses with or without health insurance. The pure simplicity of a membership model streamlines the burden of medical care. It eliminates 60% of the overhead. That streamlining allows providers time to focus on patients with free, no copay, no deductible, unhurried office visits or telehealth visits. with minimal waiting room time. It produces same or next day appointments and access by text or telephone during and after hours. It saves you from leaving work, wasting time and getting exposed in a waiting room, and the convenience and cost with barriers removed helps one avoid letting problems like a sore throat turn into an expensive ER or hospital visit for pneumonia. If you're interested, search the web for CARES Direct Primary Care.
On this Tuesday here on the show, I'm Chase Robinson. So glad you are joining us today, as a lot going on in the world of sports, and we're going to talk some Gadsden State Cardinal athletics. Now we've got the athletic director and will be the head baseball coach of the Gadsden State Cardinals, Blake Lewis, joining us now. Coach, really appreciate you hopping on with us. How are you today?
I'm good, man. How you guys doing?
Doing well, and grateful to have you on. And I know big week for you guys this week, especially on the baseball front. Got the showcase coming up tomorrow. Talk to us a little bit about what you got going with the baseball showcase.
Yeah, we really felt like we needed to do something for the kids in our community and our areas, and just provide something for us to recruit from, but to also have other colleges there. Just so multiple schools are there, so these kids can just come and get recruited by more than just us.
Yeah, so take us through kind of what maybe players can expect as they go to the showcase.
Yeah, we'll sign in and we'll start with pitchers and catchers. Pitchers don't like sitting around all day watching hitters do their thing. So we'll start with the pitchers and run through a bullpen. Just give us a chance to be able to see them and see what the velocities are. Kind of just watch their off-speed stuff and take some notes on those guys, and then we'll get into more of a pro style setting workout for the hitters. We'll start with some BP, watch them, watch their swing, just watch the defensive guys make plays on those balls, and then we'll get into a little bit more of a individualized defensive session with outfielders and infielders.
So as you've coached in this state, you've seen baseball across the state. Just as you as you've seen players, as now you are kind of out recruiting yourself, what are some maybe some things you see in players when you're out recruiting, maybe that need to be corrected, or just common things that they need to have an eye on as they're looking to be recruited?
Yeah, I think the one thing that's changed over the landscape of recruiting over my time of doing this is you just don't see kids playing hard that much anymore, and that's the easiest thing I think for kids to be able to do. They may not have the best day on the mound or the best day at the plate, but just playing hard. I like watching kids interact with their teams, and when they're not having a great day, what kind of teammate are they? Are they cheering and encouraging their other fellow teammates? But I think ultimately, just to really kind of put it simply, is just how kids play, and kids just don't play hard like they used to. So whenever we do see a kid that does get after it, runs hard through the first base, or runs hard to second base, or they're hard on and off the field, just little small things like that I think gets lost in a young kid's mind. It goes a long way with us, with coaches.
We're talking with Gadsden State Athletic Director and baseball coach Blake Lewis. Coach, you're building this baseball program back up from Gadsden State. It's been a while since the Cardinals have had baseball. How's kind of this building process been going so far?
Man, I'm excited. There's a lot of positive things to say. Man, I could spend all morning talking about how good things are going. Just the encouragement from our community and the excitement of people wanting to get out and watch us play. It certainly makes it feel. It does make it feel like a 4-year place. I tell recruits all the time that this is a 4-year level of support, but at the junior college level. I can't go anywhere in town with Gadsden State stuff on, and people come up to me talking about how excited they are to come back to campus and watch us practice and watch us play. So I'm fired up, man. I'm ready for our guys to get here.
how have you found recruiting been with it being a new program? Is it hard to sell a program that hasn't played a game yet?
The what's really exciting is the gap from when baseball was here on campus to now. You would think it would lose a little bit of the excitement of the tradition, and I'm telling you, man, it has not skipped a beat. So I can't tell you that it's been very difficult, just because I think the reach that Gadsden State has, that brand, and people still remember how good it was up here, man. So it's been a really good time for me recruiting wise.
That's really good, and of course we're excited to see Gadsden State have baseball back. Softball will be back as well, and you as the athletic director, of course, not only have your eye on baseball, but really all the programs. How's the building of the softball program going?
That's been a little bit of a slow start, but we want to make sure that we make it right for that roster and for those coaches. I think building a program is a challenge. So you got to have a really good foundation and lay the right pieces of the puzzle in place in order for every one of our programs really to thrive like I think they can. So it's been a little bit of a challenge with that, but I think we're on the back end of that, and it's going to be exciting once we can come out with a few things that we're getting ready to come out with.
That is exciting. And on the baseball front, I know next spring will be when the season begins. But what's that look like now? Of course, I know you're recruiting and trying to get your players. But for a first-year program, what does that look like through the summer and through the fall and then getting ready for next spring?
Man, it never slows down. I think, right now, I'm already into spring in my thoughts with our roster of basically all freshmen coming in. And so my summer schedule is really packed just between travel ball tournaments. I was looking my month of June. It's I could be at a ballpark, if not every day of the week. I know for sure every day of the week or every week of the month of June, just really trying to get my names and my list of things or my list of players for 2024 graduating class. And then you're starting to mark 2025s. And at the junior college level, it seems a little crazy, but just the recruiting has gotten so far out in front that we have to get out and see these kids and because there's so much baseball being played, you would think that allows us a lot more opportunities to watch guys play, and it does. But it also makes that list a little bit longer of guys that we have to go see. So we have to manage our time and really kind of balancing and juggling the athletic director responsibilities that I have here too. We get out, but we have to be really precise of when we get out and when we go watch guys play and try to make the most out of that time.
We're talking with Gadsden State Athletic Director and baseball coach Blake Lewis. And coach, on the baseball front, as far as the state of Alabama and community college goes, a lot of folks may not know that some really good baseball in community colleges in Alabama. Talk to us about kind of the landscape of Alabama community college baseball.
I've said this for many years, some of the best coaches in baseball are right here in our state at the community college level. It makes the spring really exciting. I think people underestimate how good and how talented our state is, with junior college baseball. Coming into it being a new team, there's other community colleges are bringing in, like Northwest Shoals just brought their program in. Snead, just right up the road from us, went to the World Series last year. Shelton's in the World Series this year. We're surrounded by really good coaches and really good players. So I think that's anytime anybody from the public can get out and go watch a junior college baseball game here in Alabama, they'll see how exciting it is and how much talent is there on the field. It's a fun place. It's a fun afternoon for a family for sure.
And as far as your athletic director duties, covering all the sports, the school year has ended. We'll be getting ready for the 23-24 year. But as far as Gadsden State athletics as a whole, where do you see these programs at?
We, last year with being my first year up here, I was really blown away at the amount of support that all of our teams have. Our gym gets pretty packed and it's pretty loud, and that's one of the things that we had the leading scorer in the country in men's basketball last year. So anytime that he was on the floor, he was fun to watch, and we've got some really, really good support. So I would encourage anybody that's listening or watching, if they get an opportunity to be able to come to one of our volleyball games or women's basketball or men's basketball, man, they're fun. It is a fun atmosphere. And I would probably argue that if we're not the best, we're at the top as far as just atmospheres for a fan to come watch teams play. Our cross country, men's and women's cross country was in their first year last year. Our women's did incredible. Coach Green does a great job just right out of the gate. Our men's tennis program has done well. We're excited about them and some of the roster guys they have coming on the roster. So I think collectively our whole athletic department is getting ready to really just take over the state. I wish that was as easy as it sounds, but we're moving forward.
And what are some goals for you being the athletic director? I know with baseball and softball, I know that's got to be a goal of the college as a whole. But what are some goals, maybe the vision of Gadsden State athletics under your watch?
Man, we've obviously we want championships. I want to be able to get the resources here for our coaches to be able to recruit the best athletes possible, because obviously that helps us win games and win championships. I want us to have the best, just a fan experience when they get here. I want to at some point want to be able to have our doors always open. For any family to come in here at really minimal cost to be able to get into the door to watch these teams and these kids play. But we've got a lot of things from a vision standpoint that kind of play into that. We've got some high expectations that I put on our coaches, obviously, to win, and as the AD, being able to find every resource we possibly can to help them bring in, really, really talented players, like I mentioned earlier. But there's some upgrades that are getting ready to that we need, obviously, to be upgraded pretty quickly. And there's some in the mix. I can't really come out and talk too much about it because it's still early in the process. But I think that the more people we can have on our team and supporting us, it's going to go a long way up here. And I just encourage anybody that may be listening that want to help us and support us in any shape, form, or fashion. We would love to have that. So reach out to me, because I think we're getting ready to blow this thing up, and we need some people to help us get us over the hump for sure.
Absolutely. Blake Lewis, he is the athletic director and baseball coach of the Gadsden State Cardinals, and got great athletics, community college athletics right here in Northeast Alabama. Coach, really appreciate you taking a few minutes with us today, talking some Gadsden State Cardinals. We'll do it again soon, but thanks for your time today.
Hey, man, looking forward to talking to you again, and we appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach. Blake Lewis, he is the head baseball coach as the program will get going, and athletic director for Gadsden State. Blake Lewis, appreciate his time of joining us today, as I know they are very excited. And when they had the meeting last year about bringing baseball and softball back, it was a packed room there at Gadsden State Community College. People are excited for these programs to be back in the area. And again, the showcase tomorrow, if you are a recent high school graduate or a 2024 graduate, you can go to the Gadsden State Baseball Showcase tomorrow. That is at the Gadsden State Field there at the City Park on Megan Boulevard in Gadsden, and go enjoy some baseball and see if you can be recruited not only by Gadsden State, other colleges will be there recruiting tomorrow as well, but that is taking place at the City Park there in Gadsden at the baseball field. Before we go to break, I want to hit you with some college football news right here in our backyard at Jacksonville State. News coming out within the last hour. Jacksonville State is adding a quarterback out of the transfer portal in Logan Smothers from Nebraska. He is originally from Muscle Shoals, played at Muscle Shoals High School. He went to Nebraska, played for the Cornhuskers, and will have 2 years of eligibility remaining as he transfers to Jacksonville State to join Rich Rodriguez and company there. This could be a big pickup for Jacksonville State, a very valuable piece they could be adding. You look at the quarterback room for Jacksonville State. You have Caden Creel, you have Cam Vaughn, and Earl Woods III. All very talented quarterbacks, no doubt, but this is a Power 5 guy we're talking about in Logan Smothers transferring to Jacksonville State. So this could be very valuable, very huge pickup for Rich Rod and the Gamecocks moving forward. And so that's something to keep an eye on as the summer gets going. Jacksonville State could be adding some more guys out of the portal as well. Some guys sitting in there from post-spring portal window. And so Gamecocks could be picking up some more guys. But a huge pickup, in my opinion, for the Gamecocks adding Logan Smothers. We'll jump to a break here. Coming up, we'll talk some Atlanta Braves. Tough night last night for the Bravos. We'll talk about it as we roll on this Tuesday with Southern Sports Now.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @EAN_sports, or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
If you see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
Southern Sports Now on this Tuesday. Glad you're along with us. Chase Robinson here, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. We are glad you are along with us. Go ahead and like, go ahead and share and comment here on our live stream. Would love to get your comments on as we move through the show today. And we got a lot more to cover as we move through our 1 hour we have together each and every day. Appreciate Blake Lewis for jumping on and talking some Gadsden State athletics with us as he is the head baseball coach. They've got the baseball showcase on the way, launching the softball and baseball next year. Great athletic programs there at Gadsden State. We appreciate them for hopping on with us. Let's talk some Braves baseball. Sunday night was a home run fest for the Braves. Last night, not so much. Let's hit some highlights from last night's game as the Braves make the trip to Oakland. And the Braves offense started off pretty good. They were able to get some guys on, get a run around, but it didn't take long for kind of the offensive wheels to come off, for things to stall out for the Atlanta Braves. Oakland, on the other hand, got the bats going. It took the bottom of the 5th inning, but the A's got it going. There you see a deep ball for the A's to get some runs on the board. There you see Mike Soroka. We'll talk much more about Soroka here in a few minutes, but it took 5 innings of good pitching from Soroka before kind of the A's broke loose, but they got the long ball going for sure. But, hey, the Braves were able to as well. Matt Olson, who's had a spectacular start to this season, going long for the Braves. They definitely needed that. Wish some guys had been on base, though. That's one thing the Braves struggle with, leaving guys on base last night. But some really good hitting from the Oakland A's put them at a really good chance to win this ball game really from the start. A couple of mistakes, as you see there, from the Braves. But overall, not a great performance from the offense, which really surprising, especially from what we saw 2 nights ago in the Phillies series when the Braves scored 11 runs, back-to-back home runs. Darno hitting the ball great. Matt Olson, a couple of home runs Sunday night, but then you go to Oakland, and last night did not look good on the offensive side. They had 6 hits in the game, but, again, leaving guys on was a big problem last night for the Atlanta Braves. But let's roll some video of Mike Soroka. For the first time since 2019, he took the mound to start a baseball game. He appeared in a game in 2020, but has not really been the guy, been the starter. He was able to throw good pitches, and as you'll see in some of this video here, striking guys out, but also had a really good defense behind him. They were putting him in play, but the Atlanta Braves defense definitely had Mike Soroka's back last night, as I know they were so glad to have him back. Watch this right here. Eddie Rosario robbing that thing, jumping up and robbing that home run in the bottom of the 2nd inning. But really impressed with Rosario last night, and super impressed with Mike Soroka in a great performance, again, in his first performance back with the Atlanta Braves. There's been talk, could we see him this season? Could we see him early in the season? A lot of folks are thinking we may not see him back until like July when Fried and Wright come back. But I was glad to see Mike Soroka back, and the fact that he was able to go 6 innings, I think, was huge. He gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, had 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Those are really good numbers, especially coming off of just the time he's had rehabbing. And, I mean, the guy, it's been 3 years since he started. It's been 2 Achilles tears in the process, and he stuck with it. A lot of guys would have given up, would have thrown in the towel, been done with baseball. He stayed with it. He knew he could come back and play for the Braves, and he did. And I think that was a great start, and I'm excited because the Braves, I think, have a consistent guy in the rotation, and Mike Soroka coming back. So now you've got with Max Fried out, with Kyle Wright out, you've got Charlie Morton, you've got Spencer Strider, you've got Bryce Elder, kind of your core guys. And then you've got Jared Schuster, you got Mike Soroka. I think that's a really good rotation for the Braves if all these guys can be consistent. I know consistency is up and down in baseball, but consistency is key, I think, for the Braves in the starting rotation. But having a guy like Mike Soroka, if he can go 6 innings every time, which probably not. He's got a ways to go to get back till he's 100%. But if he could consistently go 6 innings, maybe 7 innings, I think that's huge for the Braves, because when you look at the box score from last night, Soroka went 6. Then you had Yates only going 1 inning. You had Lettige going just 1 batter. Jimenez going 2 batters. So these guys having to come in and finish the job. You want a starter that can go 6 to 7 innings. I mean, you like him to go 7-6 at least. So that was good. Soroka was able to do that. And game 2 tonight with the Oakland A's, Bryce Elder will be on the mound. Elder's 3-0 as we sit here right now. So I'm excited to see what he can do. He's been a guy that's been pretty consistent. He's facing off against Sears tonight, who is 0-3. So Bryce Elder, hopefully he can get it done. Hopefully the offense will be able to come in and get it done tonight in Oakland as well. But I'm interested to see what the rotation is going to look like, how they're going to piece these guys together now that Soroka's back. Could he be a guy you kind of slip up into that number 3 spot, depending on how Charlie Morton does? So there's a lot of formulas that you could look at for the starting rotation, but I like what I'm seeing right now from the Atlanta Braves with Mike Soroka back. Now, offensively, if they could just be consistent, maybe like they were against the Phillies this past Sunday night, that would be huge as well. You got a couple of former A's on this team, including Matt Olson, who hit one out of that park yesterday, who he's used to playing there. But a couple of guys, and Sean Murphy and Matt Olson, they want to go back to Oakland and win this series. So we'll see if they can do that tonight. It's since they're out there on the West Coast, it's a late game tonight, 8:40 first pitch for the Braves, and then they'll have an afternoon game tomorrow as Jared Schuster will take the mound against the A's. But big stuff there from the Braves. We'll see if they can close out the series tonight and tomorrow there in Oakland. That'd be big heading into the month of June to be able to win this series. Let's grab a break here. I want to come back. We got a lot of college baseball to talk about, college softball as well, as we're getting into the fun part of the postseason. We'll talk about that coming up next.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
East Alabama Now Local News has been bringing you the best local news coverage for 6 months. And now we're growing.
EAN News will be available to you 5 nights a week with new faces, new content, and coverage that is second to none.
We'll be bringing you the weather that matters to your neighborhood and to you. Rain or shine, you'll be in the know.
Sports always brings communities together, and EAN Sports will have coverage of all of our area events.
East Alabama Now, local news, new faces, same great coverage. Starting 5 days a week, May 1st, EAN Local News, your news on your schedule.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @EAN_sports, or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
If you see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
Southern Sports Now, we continue. It is a Tuesday on this shorter week. Hope you had a safe Memorial Day weekend. We're glad to be back with you this morning. And yesterday on Memorial Day, we found out the field of the NCAA baseball tournament and where the regional sites are, who's going to be in them. And we've got two regionals happening right here in the state of Alabama. Let's take a look at what the Tuscaloosa regional looks like and what the Auburn regional looks like. In Tuscaloosa, you've got the Alabama Crimson Tide, of course. You've got Boston College. You got Troy coming across the state. And you've got Nichols coming there to Tuscaloosa. It's a really strong regional. I like Troy's chances of maybe meeting up Alabama in the championship. I'm impressed with the way Troy has played this year out of the Sun Belt. And in the Auburn regional, you've got, of course, the Auburn Tigers. You've got Southern Miss, the Samford Bulldogs coming from Birmingham to Auburn, and Penn University will be there. But Auburn, Southern Miss, Samford, and Penn there in the Auburn regional. I like both of those. I think both Alabama and Auburn are the strongest teams in the regionals. Obviously, that's why they're hosting. They're in the higher-ranked teams. But I like how both are playing. And I think this could be a really, really entertaining both of these regionals, and I think there's a good chance that Alabama wins and Auburn wins the regionals and is able to make it to the super regionals and maybe even a trip to Omaha for the College World Series. I like the chances, especially the way that both of those teams played in Hoover last week in the SEC baseball tournament. Auburn, of course, kind of has the experience of getting to the College World Series as they did so last year, making a run to Omaha. But I think that definitely is a chance for Auburn and definitely a chance for Alabama. I like the way they're playing right now, the consistency that they're having. They dropped that game to Vanderbilt on Friday, but you got to think in a tournament setting like that, pitching was kind of a struggle and depth of pitching for Alabama. Moving forward, you're not going to have to cram that many games into a week. So if Alabama can win this weekend, can get out of regionals, maybe with just playing 2, maybe 3 games, I think that's going to be big for Alabama just as far as pitching and saving arms for what could be a run there in the postseason. But I could see Alabama and Auburn both making a run there in the maybe at Omaha in the College World Series. We got softball beginning as well. The Women's College World Series, the Alabama Crimson Tide is in it for the 14th time. Patrick Murphy has gotten Alabama to the Women's College World Series. Here's the list of games of the first round of the tournament. We got an SEC matchup to start things off. On Thursday is number 4 Tennessee and number 5 Alabama. They met multiple times during the season, and they meet once again in the College World Series. Number 1 Oklahoma, they are the favorite to win the College World Series. They've got number 9 Stanford up first. You've got number 3 Florida State, who I would say is the second favorite to win the Women's College World Series. They've got number 6 Oklahoma State up first, and then number 7 Washington and number 15 Utah still remaining in the Women's College World Series. But this should be really, really good softball, and we'll see how far the Alabama Crimson Tide can go. But I think Alabama fans saw a great series this weekend against Northwestern. Montana Fouts back in the circle. Pitched a great performance yesterday in the elimination game, but with her healthy, which I think she almost is back at full health, with her as healthy as she could be, this Alabama team's very, very dangerous. Could see them definitely going far in the Women's College World Series. We'll get you ready for that coming up Thursday. A big week in sports on the college front, and the Braves, all that good stuff. We'll be covering it all week long. That is all the time we have for you today. Appreciate you for hanging out with us. If you missed any of the show, you can go back and watch the archive on Facebook, on the East Alabama Now Facebook page, or on the East Alabama Now YouTube channel. Go back and watch what you missed. Appreciate our guest today, Blake Lewis, athletic director and baseball coach of the Gadsden State Cardinals. Appreciate him for stopping by with us. We will talk to you tomorrow, bright and early at 10 a.m. We will see you then.